Hello friends and welcome to this session for GATE and ESC Electrical Engineering. My friend, this session is going to be one of the most awesome session and you are going to really learn something very new and something that will help you in the exam. In the exam for GATE, may it be 2021 or it may be 2022. Now, before we start the lecture, my friend, let me introduce you myself. My name is Ankit Goyal. I got AIR 1 in GATE 2014 and GATE 2018. And my friend, I was also awarded the President of India Gold Medal by the President himself in the year 2013 when I graduated from IIT Indore. Presently, I am working as a director at an academy for GATE department, and that is why constantly I am able to bring new and more initiatives for you. Because an academy is not an institute. An academy is not a coaching. An academy is more of a revolution. An academy is more of a feeling. An academy has everything right that is wrong with every other coaching institute in the country. The name An Academy, my friend, has been comprised of two words, un and academy. That means it has everything that is not there in an academy. So an academy cares about the student in the best way possible. It cares about the student most than or more than any other person can. All the initiatives are centered on the student. That is, they are always working towards the student welfare. And that is why, my friend, you are watching this course on power system. That is why, my friend, you are watching this course on power system free of cost on our YouTube channel. So my friend, if you are visiting this channel for the first time, make sure that you have subscribed, because we have electrical machine, power electronics, power system, communication system, EMT, EDC, network, signal, control, digital, everything is here on this channel, that too free of cost, my friend. But what has An Academy done? An Academy has brought a revolution in the country where they are providing the most affordable education, and that too free of that too at the most affordable price, as well as free of cost on YouTube. So my friend, if you want to be a part of the revolution that An Academy has created by means of the courses that are running on An Academy, where they are bringing you the best ever educators of the country on a single platform. That is, you, my friend, can be able to learn from India's top educator at the cheapest or at the most affordable prices possible. At the most affordable prices possible. Now, my friend, I'm talking to you. You can dare to dream. You can dare to enter a PSU. You can dare to dream about MTech from an IIT. Why? Because An Academy has made it possible. An Academy has done everything that is required to get the best rank in GATE examination. So my friend, if you want to join An Academy, make sure that you use the code Ankit ESE, because the door to An Academy opens with this code, and this directly makes me your mentor so that I can guide you at each and every step regarding your GATE preparation. And not only this, you will also get 10% discount on your subscription. Now, what does An Academy bring for you? Not only the live classes. The live classes are the best part of An Academy, where you can interact with the educator, ask your doubt, and make sure that you understand each and every concept and then only exit the class. But other than that, you get dedicated doubt session, where you can post a pic of a question and ask any doubt, any number of doubts. Then you have weekly quizzes. Every Sunday we test how much you have understood. Then there are daily practice paper which we provide you for practice. Then there are practice questions from An Academy. Then there are test series from An Academy. Then there is crash course where we will boost your rank in the last few months. There is rank improvement batch for the students who have already done well in the GATE examination. Now, my friend, all of this just with one subscription fees, where you don't have to pay anything again and again or anything extra. That is the magic of An Academy. Just join An Academy without thinking too much.
Hi guys, in the last lecture we studied about some of the terms that were related to the arc phenomena in the circuit breaker. The first one that we studied was recovery voltage. Recovery voltage was RMS value of the power frequency voltage that appears across the circuit breaker contacts when the arc is extinct. Then we saw active recovery voltage, which was instantaneous value of recovery voltage which appears across the circuit breaker contacts when the arc is interrupted. This was equal to K1, K2, K3, Vmax sin phi. And the last voltage we saw was restriking voltage, which was the high frequency voltage that appears across circuit breaker contacts at the instant of arc interruption. So it was equal to ARV 1 minus cos T by under root LC. Okay, and we determined triple RV, which was rate of rise of restriking voltage, which was important in terms of recovery rate theory because we compare this rate with the rate of deionization or the rate of recombination. So these were the three voltages that we defined in conjunction with the circuit breaker arc phenomena. Now our objective is to reduce these oscillations that are occurring due to restriking voltage or reducing this high frequency oscillation. Now whenever you want to damp out any sort of oscillations in electrical domain, you have to use a resistance. So next we will consider the resistance switching. So here what we do is, across the circuit breaker plates we will connect a resistance. Now the problem with connecting a resistance like this is, whenever the circuit breaker will open circuit after the final extinction of the arc, after the arc has gone away, the plates will behave as the open circuit. Then the current will flow through the resistance. That means after the final extinction of the arc, I have to take care that I disconnect the resistance. That means in series with resistance we need a switch which will disconnect the resistance as soon as the arc is extinct. Okay, so that is why in series with resistance we use a sphere gap. Now whenever you will interrupt the arc, a high frequency restriking voltage will be induced across the circuit breaker, due to which the air between the sphere gap will ionize, due to which an arc will be struck between the contacts of the sphere gap, due to which this resistance will be connected in the circuit. So whenever we will interrupt the arc, the sphere gap becomes short circuited. Okay, so that means the resistance will be in the circuit. But after the arc extinction, the only voltage that appears across circuit breaker is the recovery voltage, which is lesser in magnitude. If it is lesser in magnitude, then the sphere gap will deionize and it will open circuit the resistance. Okay, after extinction, VCB is equal to RV, which is less, due to which deionization takes place and sphere gap becomes open circuited. So that is how we will use the sphere gap in series with the resistance to connect or disconnect the resistance. Now let us understand how oscillations are damped out. So effectively the circuit that will be now considered will be, this will be L, CS plus CB will become C, and this will be R. Okay, so now whatever current is going through here will be divided into two parts, IC and IR. So I will be equal to IC plus IR. Now IC will be equal to C dVc by dt, where Vc is the capacitor voltage. Since the same voltage is appearing across the resistance because both are in parallel, IR will be Vc by R. Now if we apply the KVL, Vt will be equal to L di by dt plus Vc. Now di by dt will be d by dt of C dVc by dt plus Vc by R plus Vc. So it will be LC d square Vc by dt square plus L by R dVc by dt plus Vc. Now to make the coefficient of second order 1, we will divide the whole equation by Lc. So Vt by Lc will be d square Vc by dt square plus L by R, sorry, not L by R, it will now become 1 by Rc dVc by dt plus Vc by Lc. Now to determine the characteristic roots of this differential equation, what we will do is, we will make a homogeneous differential equation which is d square plus 1 by Rc d plus 1 by Lc, Vc is 0. The characteristic roots will be d is equal to minus b by 2a plus minus under root b square, that is 1 by Rc whole square minus 4 AC divided by 2. So it will be minus 1 by 2 Rc plus minus under root 1 by 2 Rc square minus 4 by, sorry, minus 1 by Lc. Now for oscillations to occur, what should be the condition? For oscillations, we need the root to have a real part as well as a imaginary part. Now to get imaginary part, the term inside the root must be negative. That is, for oscillations, 1 by Lc must be greater than 1 by 2 Rc square, or we can say 4R square C square by Lc must be greater than 1. That means this R should be greater than 1 by 2 under root L by C. This is the condition for the oscillations. Now for no oscillations, 1 by Lc must be less than or equal to 1 by 2 Rc square. That is, R must be less than 1 by 2 under root L by C, less than or equal to. Okay, then the roots will be real and there will be no oscillations in the system. And the frequency of oscillation will be, if any oscillations are there, 1 by 2 pi under root, the imaginary part was there, that was 1 by Lc minus 1 by 2 Rc whole square. Okay, that will be the frequency of oscillations if there are any oscillations in the system. Now to reduce the oscillations or to eliminate the oscillations altogether, the maximum resistance can be 1 by 2 under root L by C. This resistance is called as the critical resistance. It is the maximum value of resistance to make the oscillations go to 0. And if you see, if we keep the resistance at this value, the imaginary part of the term goes to 0. Hence both roots become real as well as equal. And when both the roots are real and equal, it is called as critically damped. So there are three cases: critically damped, overdamped and underdamped. In case of underdamped, this is the system shown here. There are oscillations, and when there are oscillations, resistance will be greater than 1 by 2 under root L by C. Okay. So see here, this is my current. As soon as the arc is interrupted at a current 0, the voltage suddenly rises and it oscillates about the recovery voltage. This is your recovery voltage. Okay, it will oscillate about the recovery voltage, and when the recovery voltage becomes 0, it will also become 0. This is the case for critically damped. This will be the case when both the roots are real and equal. So R will be half under root L by C. Okay, so if you see here, there are no oscillations and voltage reduces as the recovery voltage reduces. This is the case for overdamped. here R will be less than 1 by 2 under root L by C. If you see here, the voltage takes more time to go to 0. So that means the response is slower. And as we study in the control systems theory, that whenever we overdamp a system, it behaves or its characteristics are similar to the critically damped, but the response is slower due to higher damping. So that is what happens when we consider a resistance in the switching circuit. We can reduce the oscillations to 0, because with oscillations there will be overshoot, which is undesirable. Now let us consider another phenomena that is called as current chopping. Now current chopping is the phenomena that is encountered in a circuit breaker if we try to interrupt the arc before the current 0. Now usually how does my current behave? It will be like this, and we have to interrupt the arc here. Let me plot circuit breaker voltage also here. Now suppose we interrupt the arc before current 0. Let me say I interrupted the arc here at this point. So up to this point the circuit breaker voltage will be less. As soon as we interrupt the arc at a current I, let us say I1, the circuit breaker voltage will be V is equal to I1 under root L by C, which was the prospective voltage. Suddenly a high voltage occurs. Okay, and the current will become 0. So up to here graph will be like this. Then current suddenly becomes 0. But due to this high voltage, what will happen? The arc will restrike and current again begins to flow. So current again becomes non-zero, voltage becomes low. Now again let me interrupt the arc here. So again current will go to 0. Again the voltage will become high, but this time less than the previous value. Why? Because this current I2 is less than I1, so V2 is less than V1. Suppose this voltage also makes the electric field more than the dielectric strength, the arc will restrike. So here the voltage will remain 0 for certain duration. Then again the arc will restrike and current begins to flow. Current will begin to flow like this. So if you see, the current waveform has been chopped, or current waveform is divided into different parts. This is called as your current chopping phenomena. Why is the current chopping phenomena is occurring? Because if we interrupt the arc before the current 0, then a high voltage is induced across the circuit breaker called as prospective voltage, which will again ionize the medium between the plates to initiate the arc. Or we can say the electromagnetic energy stored in the inductor for non-zero current, which will be equal to half Li square, gets converted to the electrostatic energy of the circuit breaker, causing high voltage across the plates. Okay, so if somehow we can reduce this electromagnetic energy, or we can reduce the conversion of electromagnetic energy to electrostatic energy, we can reduce the prospective voltage. How to do that? We will introduce the resistance switching. Why? Because when resistance is connected, this electromagnetic energy will be converted into heat plus electrostatic energy, due to which electrostatic energy reduces and voltage across the plates of circuit breaker also reduces. Okay, because in resistance there will be some current, there will be some heat produced, so that all energy will be supplied by electromagnetic energy. So now electrostatic energy is not equal to electromagnetic, but electromagnetic minus heat dissipated. So energy reduces, hence the voltage also reduces. So resistance switching is used to avoid the current chopping phenomena. Now let us understand some of the ratings of the circuit breaker. First is called as your breaking current. Now in fault analysis we saw what was the current waveform. First of all, there was a DC offset current, something like this, and then there was my AC current. Like this. So in the current waveform, this current, the DC offset current, makes the waveform unsymmetrical. That is why the entire current is called as asymmetrical current. Now, there are two components in the fault current as we saw. I was equal to Vm by mod z sin theta minus alpha e raised power minus RT by L plus Vm by mod z sin omega t plus alpha minus theta. If you remember the first equation that we derived in the fault analysis. Now, this current is the DC offset current, this is my AC current. So, the entire current or the asymmetrical current is, let me call the DC current as X plus Y by root 2 whole square. X is my DC current, Y is AC current. And the symmetrical current is actually X by root 2. So, how to determine symmetrical current from the graph? You will take the current above this DC offset current. This is DC offset current. Above this current, this value is X. Sorry, this value is, this will be Y. So, this value is Y. But this value above the x-axis, this is X. So, the net current will be X plus Y, but the RMS current will be X plus Y by root 2. So, that is your braking current. So, braking current has two currents. One is your symmetrical braking current, other is your asymmetrical braking current. Okay. And if we want to find the power, the braking capacity will be root 3 VL into I. If you take the symmetrical current, it will be called as symmetrical braking capacity. If you take the asymmetrical current, it will be called as asymmetrical braking capacity. You just have to multiply root 3 VL into X, into I asymmetrical will be asymmetrical braking capacity. Root 3 VL into I symmetrical will be symmetrical braking capacity. So, these are the two currents that are defined in terms of braking current of the circuit breaker. Similarly, next current is called as making current. It is the maximum current at which circuit breaker is closed. As I told you, circuit breaker always operates in the transient region and not in the subtransient. So, for high subtransient current, the circuit breaker contacts will remain closed. So, if circuit breaker contacts remain closed, we will say that Im will be 1.8 times I steady state. And in the fault analysis, we derived a factor of 2, but practically this factor is less than 2, so we are considering 1.8. So, 1.8 into root 2 into I symmetrical RMS. So, it will be 2.55 times I symmetrical RMS. So, that is your making current. So, in any question, if making current is being asked, you will multiply a factor of 2.55 in the symmetrical braking current. So, these two ratings are very important when it comes to the circuit breaker. One is your braking current, other is your making current. Now, let us discuss the type of circuit breaker based on the construction or the material being used between the plates, and we will discuss the advantage and disadvantage of each type. So, first is your oil circuit breaker. It has a oil between the plates of the circuit breaker. So, oil acts as a dielectric plus it acts as a coolant. These both functions are performed in case of a transformer. Usually, the transformer has some oil and that oil acts as a dielectric as well as it acts as a coolant for the transformer. So, here the oil will act as a dielectric between the plates of circuit breaker because the plates of circuit breaker are kept in the oil tank in case of transformer. Now, what happens in transformer? If suppose there is a fault, an arc will be formed between the circuit breaker plates, due to which there will be tremendous amount of heat produced which will evaporate the oil or it will vaporize the oil. And that vaporization or resolution of oil into component gases is used to detect the fault in transformer, and that is the basic principle of your Buckles relay. Okay, that is why oil circuit breakers are very important when it comes to transformer. So what happens whenever a fault is occurring, or whenever we are interrupting the arc, or whenever there is a fault and the plates of circuit breakers separate, an arc will be stuck which will decompose the oil. Now the decomposition temperature is 658 Kelvin, and the product of decomposition is mostly hydrogen gas. And since it is lighter than the oil, it will collect above the oil. So this will be your H2 gas, this will be my oil. Okay, this H2 gas will be pushing the oil downwards, due to which there will be pressure falling on the switch and we can detect the fault. Okay, so that is how we will detect the fault in case of a transformer. So here we will use the oil. That is your oil circuit breaker, mostly used in transformer. Next is our air blast circuit breaker. Now with the oil circuit breaker, there is always a danger that if the oil is inflammable, then due to the arc, the oil may catch fire, which can damage the transformer. In air blast circuit breaker, as I told you, the method of reducing the cross sectional area of the arc, we will push the air from bottom of the circuit breaker, which will push the arc upwards. So that is called as air blast circuit breaker, in which we will push the blasts of air from the bottom of circuit breaker to extinct the arc. Okay, that is called as air blast circuit breaker. Okay, so here we force cool air, but the disadvantage is current chopping. So remember, current chopping is most severe in air blast circuit breaker, due to which we have to use resistance switching. Resistance switching needs to be used for avoiding the current chopping phenomena in the circuit breaker. Usually these circuit breakers are used at high voltages, that is EHV and UHV application, that is extra high voltage and ultra high voltage. Next type of circuit breaker is SF6 circuit breaker. Here instead of air we will use SF6 gas, and SF6 gas is a better dielectric as compared to air. So it is 3 to 5 times better than air blast circuit breaker. Why? Because the dielectric strength of the SF6 is higher. How? When SF6 encounters the electron, electron will be coming due to the arc, because it will create charge particle. It will become SF5 minus plus F. Now usually, so what will happen is that SF6 is absorbing the electron, so it is reducing the number of charge particles in the plates between the circuit breakers. So that is how it has a high dielectric strength. Due to high electronegativity, electronegativity is the tendency to absorb the electron. So SF6 has high electronegativity, hence it absorbs the electron and reduces the number of charge carriers in the air gap between the circuit breaker plates. Okay, hence its dielectric strength is very high. But it is used between the voltages 1 kilovolt to 220 kV. The last is your vacuum circuit breaker. Here we eliminate the medium between the contacts of circuit breaker, because if there is no medium between the circuit breaker contacts, then there will be no ionization and no charge carriers produced. But it is very difficult to obtain a perfect vacuum. So what we are essentially doing is we are reducing the gas density. If gas density is very less, then the number of charge carriers will be reduced, due to which conductivity reduces, resistivity increases, and arc resistance also increases. If arc resistance is high, then the current flowing will be very less and it is easier to eliminate the arc or extinct the arc. So that is your vacuum circuit breaker. It is the most efficient circuit breaker. Okay, so here what we have done is we have eliminated the medium between the circuit breaker plates. Now let us summarize what we covered in this lecture. So we first started with the phenomena of resistance switching. We saw that there are three cases: overdamped, underdamped, and critically damped when we use a resistance. Then we saw current chopping. which was occurring whenever we are trying to interrupt the arc before the current 0. So there was prospective voltage, that was I under root L by C. It can be avoided by means of resistance switching. Okay, so that was the current chopping phenomena. Then what we saw is, we saw the braking capacity or braking current, which consisted of two current, a symmetrical component and a DC offset component, which combinedly was called as asymmetrical current. And we saw making current, which was 2.55 times I symmetrical. And last we saw types of circuit breaker in brief. If you wish to study about the circuit breakers in detail, you can refer any book. But before gate examination, it is not recommended, because a very less amount of questions come from the circuit breaker. And mostly are thinking based, or mostly are concept based, and not based on this air blast, vacuum and all these circuit breaker. Later on you can read it for PSU examinations or for the interviews. But right now it is not at all recommended. So in the next lecture what we will do is, we will start with the other components of the protection system, that is a relay. So this is all about your circuit breakers.
So my friend, if you want to join Unacademy, if you liked the lecture, if you like the content that you have just watched, and you have decided that Unacademy is the right place for you, and you want to learn with me, you want to learn from me, then don't hesitate, because that is where we are conducting free classes every day that will boost your gate rank. So if you decide to take subscription, click on Gate and ESE, click on Get Subscription. After this, you can choose the plan that you want to opt for. The final year and dropper can take 1 year plan, second and the third year can take 2 year plan. But don't forget to use the code Ankit ESE. This will give you 10% off, as well as it will bring you under my guidance. And as you can see, the prices are really affordable, my friend. It is much less than any other institute can offer you, and that is why I keep repeating, Unacademy is not an academy. It is a revolution. It is a feeling. You can make the payment by credit, debit card, EMI, net banking. Also, EMI is available on debit card, but for HDFC debit card and Bajaj Finserv debit card. So if you are from a weak financial background, you can pay the amount in installments, but only use the code Ankit ESE. And my friend, these are some videos where I have told how to study, how to get the best rank in GATE, and these videos will really help you in cracking GATE. So make sure that you watch each and every one of them. And my friend, these are our other channels, like for mechanical we have, for civil also we have, for computer science we have for SSC, JEE, all branches, electrical, mechanical, civil. And on this channel we have the previous year question video solution, that too free of cost. And many more channels will be coming very soon for you guys. So be a part of our YouTube family, and you can take the benefit of all the free content that we are bringing. And my friend, this is my Telegram channel, where you will find the notes of each and every lecture that I take. And this is my Unacademy profile, which you can follow to watch my content for free on Unacademy, because there also I am taking regular free classes. So if you can't afford to join Unacademy, then keep associated with us, keep sharing the content that we are providing, and work towards making this YouTube family bigger and better. We'll keep bringing more and more content for you, and the only fees that you have to pay, my friend, is that you have to work hard and you have to share and like each and every video that we are uploading. So that way this family gets bigger. Even the student in a rural area can take the benefit of the free initiatives that we have started. And my friend, you also get the best rank in GATE without having to stress about how to pay. So if you can't be paying, or you can't afford to pay, then make sure that you are building this YouTube family, a bigger and a better YouTube family, the biggest and the best community of all electrical engineers. So that is all from my side. See you again in the next lecture. Thank you.